So in today's episode of BeamNG.drive, here we have two Demolition Derby trucks, one being the vanilla version and one being the upgraded version that we have here. Both have their advantages and both have their disadvantages. This video idea was actually presented by this comment, and I thought it was actually pretty interesting. So let's go ahead and dive in. Before we get started, I just want to tell you guys this is going to be a basic series of tests. First one going to be a basic suspension test. Second, we'll be doing a hauling test. Third, we'll be doing an off-roading test. And then finally, we'll finish the video with a crash test, just to see which one is actually better overall. And you guys will be able to share your opinions down in the comments as to which one you like better. So we're actually going ahead here and ripped both of the hoods off. And as you can see, they are running both the exact same 6.9 liter V8 gas engine. However, the upgraded one that we built here has a stage 1 supercharger with a slight intake modification. And on the stock one, you don't have that. It's just a regular intake. Both are running the exact same style of exhaust though. As you can tell from the height difference alone, this one has the suspension slash lift kit, and that is due to the simple fact that we have a front and rear 3-link suspension setup on this one. And on this one, you actually only have a live axle rear suspension with the beam suspension in the front. Neither one has lockers, and neither one has a different transmission either. However, I am pretty sure that the rear ends have a limited slip because both tires do tend to spin all the time. Alright, when it comes to the visuals, we actually do have a different bed setup in this one. Here we have the black roll bar with the quad circular lights, and on this one you just have the stock bar, which is actually kind of interesting because on this one I didn't know, but you could actually run both styles at the same time. Next up we have the wheel and tire combo. If you look at the stock one over here, it is actually running a regular 4-slot steel rim, and it is also a 15x4 off-road tire. Pretty good, actually. And then if you look over here at the upgraded one, we actually have the 17x7 Phaser High Tide Bronze Edition, and it is wrapped in the 35x11.5 17-inch rim grip all screamer tires, also offering a good amount of grip. So that covers all the changes done to the upgraded versus the non-upgraded. Let's go ahead and start testing. As an added bonus, we're also going to be looking at the weight of them. The stock one is running right around 4,760 pounds. And here on the upgraded one, we are actually roughly 5,235 pounds. So the extra axles and the extra bed stuff has to actually make quite a bit of difference. So to start the testing, we're actually going to begin the basic suspension test, starting with the vanilla demolition truck. Right around 30 miles an hour is what we're going to try to carry over. And as you can see, it does the basic necessity things that a suspension system should do. Well, that was quite a rough patch, but it was alright, I guess. Here we have the upgraded version that I have. And maybe the lift kit will help us, but maybe not. We'll see. Try to keep it around 30 miles an hour. It does look a little bit smoother. I don't know, I'll let you guys be the judge of that, but to me it looks smoother. It could also be due to the taller tire size, maybe, I don't know. I can't lie though, for a demolition derby truck, this thing actually looks pretty cool. So here we have a 6,500 pound block, roughly, which is actually supposed to be 3,000 kilograms. And we're going to be putting it into bed of each truck and seeing how well they take the 10%, 20%, and 30% steep grades. I'm really interested in 30% grade, especially with a stock truck, because with a little bit less power, it might not make it. So for each of these tests, we're going to be starting right at the white line, or roughly right behind it. And we're just going to full throttle it and see what they can do. Let's begin. Okay, it did that with a good amount of ease. Let's go to the next one. And let's begin. Again, just a reminder, we are doing it full throttle on all of these tests. Okay, made that one with a good amount of ease as well. Alright, now we are on the 30% grade. Let's see how this goes. Full throttle. And hopefully it can make it up. So far it's looking good. Okay, so a little bit of struggle towards the end, but no problem for this thing. As you can see with the upgraded guy here, we definitely have a squatted looking truck now. probably because we have the lifted but softer suspension. Let's begin. Full throttle. And it definitely feels like it has a little bit more get up and go. It should help it on the 30% grade get up faster. So I made that one without a problem. I'm actually noticing too, I believe the tires on this one actually are not as deflated as the other ones were on the stock truck. Let's begin. Kind of wants to pull left, but that's alright. And I made it up the 20% with ease. Oh god, we almost rolled it there. Here we are on the 30%, full throttle. And we almost did a minute wheelie right there, it looked like. I have no doubts about this thing making this. I would even dare to say that this made it up quite a bit quicker too, at least noticeably in my eyes. So in this portion of the testing of both vehicles, we're going to be doing the off-roading test. Now this is going to be just a basic dirt track, so I guess if you want to call it an off-roading course, you could, but it's not truly in the woods of nature, so I guess it's not going to be a perfect test, but this is just my basic interpretations of each vehicle. We're just going to do a couple laps with each vehicle, get a good feel for them, and you guys can actually be the judge as to which one is better. And I am not going to be letting off lightly on either one of these builds. We're actually going to be driving in kind of rough. It did handle that first jump pretty well. I think we hit it at like 60 miles an hour. And I think we hit that one, what, 65, 70, something like that. Oh, nope, couldn't get a good landing. Oh god. And we have a first rollover. What was that, 2 or 3 rolls? I think it was 3. Damage-wise, it was actually pretty decent. Didn't take too much, thanks to the rigidityness of the build. Going in, finishing our first lap, I think it was. And we take another rollover. Beautiful. Can it recover? Yes, it can. Uh-oh. Get back on track. I don't know what happened there. I think the where the steering is messed up, it's kind of hard to control it now. Like I said, I'm not going to be very nice to either one of these vehicles, so whatever happens to them in the rollovers and whatnot is whatever happens. Mainly just to get a good feel of them. And this one is kind of bouncy, so if this one's already like this, I'm assuming the lifted one's probably going to be worse for rollovers. Beautiful. Oh, well, we can't get a flat landing, but that's okay. So that is the third rollover, I believe. And still driving, you know, pretty fine. Not anything major other than the steering. Being that it is a derby truck, though, I would assume that it should be able to handle that no problem. Maybe on the extreme side, but it's whatever. As you can see, it is still running like a champ. I think the axle really, I think the rear axle is actually offset now. Yeah, pretty sure. Oh yeah, look at that alignment. Okay, that's either the end of lap 2 or the beginning of lap 3, something like that. But here is our final result of this thing. Tell me what you guys think. After about 2 laps, the results are this. This thing is kind of bouncy, kind of controllable at the same time, but overall is very tough because it just keeps going. Here we have the upgraded version, and I'm actually interested in seeing how the suspension works on these tabletop jumps. So we are able to go a little bit faster thanks to our Stage 1 supercharger though. It should send us over the ramp a little bit easier, which it did. Almost flipped forward on it though. But I am not going to try to be too easy with it. Should be able to jump this all the way over. Yes, sir. That's pretty clean right there if you ask me. And along with the suspension, I think the taller tires actually help us cushion the blow of the jump too. Yeah, look at that. That was like a photo finish perfect jump. Beautiful. Let's try to get a couple rollovers if I can. Surprisingly, a lot more controllable than I thought it was going to be. I figured the top sway of the weight of the truck would make it worse, but actually not. It's like a poor man's trophy truck. Alright, let's get a roll in over here. Perfect. Ooh, that was a bad one. That was a pretty... Oh, we lost the tire. Oh, no. Question is it durable enough to make it, though? We do not have full drive, so... Let's get resituated here. Give me a moment. Alright, I am kind of back on track, but it's not going to really be possible with the rear tire missing. Let's actually give this thing a second chance at life. But, however, so far the conclusion is that it is more stable, which is kind of odd because when you look at it, it just looks top heavy. And let's see if we can't get a roll here. Trust me, I am not trying to be easy on it, it just so happens that it is quite controllable. Let's try it right here. Try to turn as hard as I can to the right as we jump. See, I mean, it's just kind of harder to get it to flip. Okay, let's try to hit this going mock chicken. We'll try to roll it too. Come on. Oh, kind of. There we go. There's a good triple. Oh, quadruple. Oh, whatever, 5 times, 6 times? Oh my god. And is it durable enough to keep going? It is indeed. However, trying to get it back on the course is annoying. But yeah, it's driving just fine so far. Granted, earlier we did lose our tire, because I still blame it on just leaving the ramp so quickly. Oh, it's fine. Might have to end up smacking a tree. Yep, nope, we missed it. Can it survive this? Probably? Oh, come on now. Yeah, not having that full drive definitely messes us up. Alright, so slight variable. I did, flip the truck over to help it, but that's just because I want to see how durable it is and see if it keeps going. I think we've already completed one complete lap. After this one, this is when we'll stop. So far, though, it's doing pretty good, in my opinion. And we lost the same exact tire. Okay, so, here's the conclusion. This thing is more controllable if you can keep it on its wheels. However, since the wheels are bigger and there is more weight involved, I'm thinking that's probably why the tire keeps flying off. And it seems almost like the second you do roll over, the truck sustains a lot more damage. Maybe due to the extra weight, but yeah, the bed and everything is definitely more deformed than the other truck was. I think. I could be totally wrong. Anyway, drop a comment down below which one you think did better at the off-roading test here. I'm going to say probably the stock one, simply because when it does roll over, it's actually not taking as much damage, and it's able to recover, whereas this one, since it's lifted, if you get it on its side, you can't really just naturally roll over. So that definitely plays a factor for me when it comes to the two different trucks. But man, again, like earlier I said, I can't get over these looks. For a derby truck, this thing looks amazing. So for the fourth and final test, we're going to be doing the crash test. Let's get started with the basic one. We're just going to be doing it full throttle with a little bit of slow motion to watch the deformation. Beautiful. It definitely looks like the crash bar helped us a little bit. We are able to move. I wouldn't call it driving, but definitely possible. So there's the damages. Alright, let's do it with the upgraded lifted version. I wonder if it's just going to blow over it. Not quite. Pretty much the same amount of damage here. However, oh my goodness. So the solid axle took a lot of that brunt and has shifted to the left a lot. Yeah, it's not really drivable because even steering all the way left, you're just going straight. So in this specific crash test, this one actually fared worse in my opinion. At least the other one you could actually probably, drive it up on a trailer. This one I don't think you could, because in real life, if you're trying to pull hard left with this thing, I just don't see it happening. But maybe. We are now in the second part of the crash test. We're going to be seeing how good the vehicle is split in half. Good reference point is right there in between the exhaust. Beautiful. Okay, not as bad as I thought it was going to be. Again, the bumper definitely helps. but we are not drivable. I'm assuming it smashed the drive shaft / transmission. Yeah, the drive shaft is gone. So there's the damage for the stock one. Let's begin. Again, a good reference point is going to be right in the middle of the exhaust setup. Okay, overall, I would say that's probably the same. Yeah, even the same problem. We cannot drive because the drive shaft is destroyed. However, considering it's lifted, the suspension looks like it maybe got damaged a little bit more when it comes to, like, you know, the shifting of the axle. But you guys will be the true judge of that. Let me know what you think. Which one do you think was actually worse? Moving on to the third part of the crash test, we're going to be seeing if we can actually take the top off either one of the vehicles. Let's begin here with the regular version. And a good bit of speed here. Oh no, it stopped us. Okay, so it actually yanked the engine almost completely out of the compartment. Let's go over here and hit F7. Okay, there's the damage on this thing. Look where my mouse is. It looks like a Jeep setup now because it just goes straight over. Beautiful. Okay, let's compare that to the upgraded version. And here we go. Full throttle. I wonder if we can get a little bit more speed since we're supercharged. Just a tad. Okay, so the lift kit might have actually made it easier on us. Go ahead and hit F7. So here's the damage on this thing. Okay, so while the cab is a little bit safer, I think the front end actually took a little bit more damage. But I don't know. It seems to be the crumple zone might have been a little better. You guys be the judge of that. I'm going to say this one was probably the safer one to be in, if you were to be in a wreck just like that. We can still drive. We are now in the final test of the crash course, and we're going to actually see what happens when you smack them up a flat wall. I'm assuming it'll be about the same, but since the other truck's faster, it might be a little worse. Oh yeah, not too bad at all. It looks like we just got flattened a little bit, but for the most part, our overall shape has stayed the same, minus the hood. Still totally drivable too. Heck, we're not even overheating. Alright, time for the upgraded. Full throttle. Let's see if we can get a little bit extra speed here. Alright. Flat up against the wall. And not too bad itself either. And still drivable, so that's an added bonus. However, it looks like the suspension might be quite a bit more damaged on the axle, as you can see from the amount of either camber angle or toe angle, I don't know, but that is insane. The actual overall damage to the front, though, is pretty equivalent. Even the door came out the same. Passenger side was fine on both trucks. Hood was smashed up on both trucks. Overall, the same. You guys can be the judge which one was worse in that scenario. Let's go ahead and end this with a crash. Hopefully right into each other. Oh god, he's veering off. Come on, don't miss him. Don't miss him. Ooh! Oh, dang it, we barely clipped him. We took his tire, though. Oh, beautiful. Absolute cinema. Okay, this one survived. Did the other one survive? Kinda. If you guys liked the video, make sure you leave a like, and if you want to see more of this type of content, check out my channel. I have plenty of other interesting and entertaining videos. However, some of them are more edited than others when I have more free time. I'll see you guys in the next video, hopefully, and I hope you have a wonderful evening.